stacking my digits. Burning them bridges, can't be giving my digits up to any of these random ass bitches. No, I get caught in my feelings. Let me talk my shit, cause I just made it out the bitch I was digging. Tell them how you living. Got the plug on call, put the house on so, and I really did it all.
Good Sunday, everybody. Good Sunday. Welcome to the table. Welcome to the table, and definitely welcome to Sunday dinner. I am your host, Double R 410, along with Shy Boogie in the house.
What's up?
DT's in the house.
What's up, guys?
And Big Jane Doe.
Hello.
Oh, you know, she always soft-spoken. People always soft-spoken. The future, that's what we call her. Anyway, tonight's show is about Jennette McCurdy. You saw it on the screen. You can see it on your thumbnail. I think everybody should get a hold of their seat for this one. This one is going to be a little doozy. So tonight, I'm just going to give you a little intro of what we're talking about. This is her in her own words doing the interview off of ABC News, Jennette McCurdy. And then we're going to come back and we're going to open up the table.
On the outside, I was doing a lot of the performing, the tap dancing of like the smile and the showing up and landing on my mark. And I'm going to just do what I need to do and be this, happy-go-lucky Nickelodeon kid.
My name is Sam Puckett. I'm from Seattle, and I love fried chicken.
But inside, I was hurting. It was painful. I was angry. I felt unsupported.
You pull back the curtain on child stardom. It is not a pretty picture.
Not as I see it, no.
At just 15, Jennette McCurdy was one of the most recognizable child stars on television, playing Sam Puckett in Nickelodeon's hit show iCarly.
Where'd my straw go? Here.
To her millions of fans, she was known as the funny BFF. But she says behind that bubbly on-screen persona, nothing about her real life was funny.
For you, what were the pitfalls of child fame?
You're playing an adult's game. You're in an adult's world, and you don't recognize that. You're incapable of being on that level, but you are confused and you think that you are.
All right, as I open up tonight's table, I want everybody to understand that certain things you can do as a parent can be wrong. Certain things you can do as a parent can be right. I'm not saying that justifies the way she feels. I'm saying it's her story. Let's open up the table. I'm going to begin tonight with Big Jane Doe.
I'm not sure where to start yet.
Okay, go ahead. See if we can turn you up. Go ahead. Speak a little louder. You don't have to be nervous.
I'm not nervous. I'm not sure what to say yet.
Okay, so let's start here. Do parents have a right to live their life through their children? Let's start there.
So what do you mean by that? Like what they wanted as a child, they will make their child do?
Well, it's not necessarily what they make them do. Basically, it's one of those things where maybe you force a child to audition for a movie part or maybe a TV show, and maybe the child enjoyed it for a little while. After the fact of getting into it, the parent realized how much money the child can make, what the child is worth. Now it becomes an obsession. It doesn't become a project. Right, go ahead.
Oh, like you mean like as like a passion, right?
Right. It
Like,
becomes more like
you have to do it.
yeah.
Yeah. With that, like I feel like to the question you asked, right? Like if parents have a right to like live off their child, is what you're asking?
Yes.
I feel like that honestly depends on the child itself because everybody's different in this world, and not only that, it's like you can hear me, right? It's like at the end of the day, I'd expect, like, the expectation for most parents is to have their child live off of them. So in one perspective, you could think like, oh, you lived off of me, so now I could live off of you. That's how one might look at it. But it honestly really depends on the child, because at the end of the day, the parent's not the one that's putting in the work in the show or whatever the case may be as an actor. It's the child. So it honestly depends on the child itself, I feel like.
What if the child can't quit?
As in, like, if they can't quit?
They can't quit. You got some parents who won't let you quit.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's tough because a lot of these actors, like Jennette McCurdy herself, like when they started Nickelodeon, they were going through a lot of stuff at that time that came out this year about Dan Schneider. I hope I said it right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like not only that, is they were also like really young. Like they were like 13, 14, maybe 12, 11, maybe younger, right? So it's hard, but it's like, I don't say I can't really put a stand on it. It's like it's really in the middle, I feel like. So it's like I can't really say if like parents should or parents shouldn't, because it, some kids eventually, like Jennette McCurdy, like she wanted to quit, but her mom wouldn't let her. But it's like it's tricky. It's like you can't really give a definite answer to that.
Mm. Go ahead, DT. He's itching over there. Go ahead, get it out.
I agree with what everybody's saying. I just also feel like there's a difference between supporting and controlling.
Mm.
And it's like, I feel like a parent could live off their kid, but just don't try to control what they're doing. And what I mean by that, like, don't sit there and abuse what they have going on for themselves and for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just continue supporting it, because when you start abusing it, it's like, for a great example, right? She doesn't want to sit there and act no more. When you push your kids so far and so much, you're going to make them not want to do the thing that they probably love or don't love. And you might look at it like, oh, I'm enjoying it, the money's coming in, so she's enjoying it too. But that's not true.
Have you ever, you want to add to it, or have you guys ever been in a situation where you watch a child participate in a child event, but look like he really doesn't want to be there?
Yeah.
All the time.
But he's there because the parent put him there?
Yeah.
All the time.
Right? This is the same situation.
Yeah.
Now, when you first start out, now you may make friends. You may go through the concept of meeting new people, But what if you're not happy? Think about how many children who go to a program who are not happy, but who are forced to be there.
Alright, so that one, right? For me, right? So it's like you gotta realize, like a lot of kids that join different programs, like, or stuff, are usually within the age range from like 12 to, let's say, maybe 19, 18, right?
That's true.
And like they do say the human brain does not develop to the age of 25, right?
Mm.
So it's also around this time a lot of kids go through different change with their interests. I'm sure we all been through it, where it's like you could start something and enjoy it, but the older you get, the more you realize this isn't your thing anymore, or like you just don't want to be there, or it could be the other way where you got forced into be in a certain spot, but you end up enjoying it later on,
But I think a parent should know.
Like,
A parent should know if your child is comfortable being in a certain position. It's like, as a father of many, the hardest thing I had to watch is watch each child get comfortable going through things they like to do. And that includes my stepchildren too. There's not a point in time as a parent where you say you wish your child would do this or you wish your child would do that. So if your child decides, and I'm not saying a child should disrespect their parent, just understand what I'm saying. If you make a way and you make a plan for your child and your child doesn't stick to your plan, that doesn't necessarily mean the plan falters. What a child sees at a certain age and a parent sees at a certain age are two different things. Here you have a young lady like Jennette McCurdy, who played in one of the hottest TV shows in the world, in iCarly. And I'm pretty sure she gets paid a decent amount of money. I don't know what her residuals are like or whatever, but she wasn't unhappy. She's not writing a book about her time at the network.
It's more of what her mom forced
It's about her
to do.
mom forcing her or putting her in a position where she felt like you took away what I loved, or maybe you put me in a position where you thought you loved, and now you live in your life through me. As a parent, that is the worst feeling in the world, to know that you might have put your child somewhere they don't want to be. But then there's times a parent puts a child in a certain situation because they have no choice. So if a kid is forced to go to a program, or he goes to a center, or he's forced to join a baseball team, sometimes it's because that's the time where a parent may need, or the child may need to spend time in this particular area. But make no mistake, if you as a parent push in the wrong direction, where your child writes a book called I'm Glad Mom Died, think about the title of that book, and for everybody who's looking at that book, what could you possibly say? The title alone just printed your mother out to be the worst mother in the world. And what if that's not the case? Let's just say, in my perspective, let's just say it's one of those things where as a child she didn't understand the involvement of her mother, making it to casting calls, gas. And yes, she probably used your money because she probably left her job to stay on top of your job. So that's time spent. So we all have to take into consideration, I know you guys are not parents yet, but you guys are in the aspect and in the realm to know what you would like to do with your life. And everybody here at this table, including myself, we have freedom, but freedom comes with a price. It comes with a cause. So I'm going to come back to you. And the reason why I'm coming back to Big Jane Doe, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you are in the service. And that was your choice to go to the service. If you would have done something different, would the outcome be different?
Yes, it would.
It would have? Would you have been happy?
No.
But you're happy being Big Jane Doe.
I am.
You can say it with a smile, say it loud. It's okay. Yeah, you are. You're happy with the way you plan for everything to go for you. Right?
Yes.
Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay. So being in the service is something that you wanted to do. And I know it probably came with a price, or it probably didn't come with a price. I don't know. But the fact that you're there and we can laugh about it every time we talk about it lets me know that you enjoy your space. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I ain't going to interrupt no more. I could get carried away sometimes. But go ahead. Because you're very soft-spoken, so I just try to ease you into the thing. Go ahead.
I think the price I had to pay was with family. Because my mom didn't want me to go at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was 17 and I wanted her to sign the paper. She was like, nah, I'm not signing that. You're not going. I don't support you going. I don't support the government. I don't support you doing that. And I was upset with that. So I finished school and college wasn't working out for me at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to my recruiter and I spoke to her and I signed up. And I feel like that was the best decision I made in my life. That's what I needed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be fine.
Seems to be fine. But you're smiling, so I know it's fine. They can't see, but I can see. You gonna add to that, DT? Because are you itching over there? You turn back and forth. Now, come on, go ahead. I'm proud.
I don't know. I'm gonna say.
Because I know it's hard. I know. Look, this is like I said at the beginning. This would be one of our toughest conversations. Because a parent's job is never to smother a kid to the point where he can't grow. But you're looking at her on iCarly. I haven't seen her do anything else. She never said that she was broke. She just said she didn't like the way her mom's designed her pattern of acting. Would you be upset if your mom's put you in a certain... I don't know. I've never been there. I've done everything I wanted to do. And I'm doing the thing that I wanted to do most right now. I always wanted to be a father, so I'm a father. Too many damn kids to be exact. But I always wanted to be a father. I've always, I was good at sports. I thought sports was my way out. And I had the opportunity to have a scholarship. And I turned that down to run out here. But being a father was something I was good at. And I'm not ashamed of that. That's what I'm good at. And I had to let my own man, but is there pressure?
Yeah, it definitely is. Because I'm gonna speak from both perspective. So as the child, it's like, I want to make you proud. I want to sit there and be the talk when you go talk to your homegirls or homeboys about your kid. Oh well, your kid's doing that. Well, guess what my daughter's doing? My daughter's over here acting and stuff like that. And she's making thousands of dollars or millions, whatever she's making. So it's like, you want to see your parents happy. You want to give them everything that other kids can give their parents, or vice versa. So it's like, if I don't show up to the show today, or if I don't act out my role the right way, would I lose money? Would I lose fame? Would I lose clout? So it's a lot, because everything has to be pitch perfect, and as a child, that's what you want.
Right.
But then as a parent, it's like, again, not saying that as her mom, but as some parents in general, it's like, you don't want to stress your kid too much out. You don't want your kid to feel peer pressure. But in some cases like hers, when she wrote the book about her mom, I'm guessing her mom had felt peer pressured, because I'm quite sure things that was wrote in her book that she could have spoke to her mom about if she could have. But like you said, for her to write a book about her mom dying, that was for something serious.
Yeah.
Peer pressure had to be it had to be a little more than just peer pressure.
Right.
I feel like get a say so. You don't get a say so.
What do you mean?
For me, my mom signed me up for the Youth Police Academy, and I didn't want to go at all. But it's like, oh well, I'm the mom. And you're basically gonna do what I tell you to do.
I understand that part.
So,
but it worked out.
It did.
It worked out. Unfortunately, it worked out.
Yeah.
That's the blessing of it all. There are times where parents can push in the right direction. Go ahead, Shy Boogie. You was about to say something. I'm sorry.
It goes back to the point of certain times, if you don't as a child, if you don't want to get into something, right?
Good point.
And you get the more you're used to, I'm pretty sure that's the same you feel, right? When it comes to after joining the YPA, do you feel like right now, now it's something that you actually now look back you don't really regret?
I enjoyed it. Because of that, it made me join the Explorers program.
Yeah. So it's sometimes it could be a
blessing.
Enjoy it. Yeah. It could be a blessing.
I was just saying, I enjoy it from a parent point of view, because I never was involved in anything like that. You never expect, coming from where we come from, and that should never make a point, but coming where we come from, you never thought the reality is that you can stand beside an officer and smile. Yeah. You don't always have to look at so the perspective of one of my children choosing this path has turned out great. It's turned out great for the family. It just turned out great. So what you're saying makes a good point, and I think that is a good question. What he asked you, would it have changed things? And I think that's a good point. I mean, we have to think about it. You as a child right now, and you're not children, you're young adults, but as young adults, you have somewhat the freedom to choose on your yes and no. Think about the children who don't have that freedom.
Yeah, I feel like that's what happened with Jennette McCurdy, right? Because, back to the title, right? I'm sure there's a lot more we don't know that's in the picture for her to, label it, the title as I'm Glad You Died, Mom, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like others might be like, oh, that's your mom, but I feel like at the end of the day, we don't know what she's been through, so we can't really, say what, or assume anything, because not everybody has their path the same, So it's like back to like when I said like, do you regret it? Right? It's like that. Like it could be the case for some situations where you could start off by not wanting to do it, but it's a blessing in the sky later on, or it could be the vice versa. Like it's like it honestly depends how the situation turns out.
The courage it must have took to write the book, though. You have to think about family members, what they think, how she wrote it, the way she wrote it, the words, how she designed it. Just the title alone makes you say, damn, like, you was living with a shitty mom? Like, a mother who sacrificed in that aspect of taking a child back and forth to rehearsal, it takes time. She probably can't work because you are her job. She probably was her road manager, her accountant, her manager. And shit, she landed one of the best roles ever.
So, do we know if, like, when she wrote this book, do we know was she talking about her biological mom?
Yeah, that's a biological.
Oh, okay, because I asked because I saw a similar situation like to hers, where off topic it was about this kid, but he was writing about his older brother. And everybody thought it was his biological older brother, but then it wasn't. It was somebody else who he just called his brother. But he never elaborated on that. So everybody thought it was his biological brother. So that's why I asked, was that, her mom, like her biological mom?
No, that was her biological mom. And I think that's what surprised a lot of people. Because, and I guess we assume, because she has landed the role in iCarly, like, your household, because she never said anything about the money. So I'm assuming the money was right. Although she said her mother kept a tight range on her money. But she probably was paying bills with that. Like, I mean, it can work both ways, because as a child, you want things. I'm the one working. I'm getting a check, but I'm not getting what I want. But in all reality, think about if she would have had a manager and the mother was just a home mom and she went to work. They would be missing out on maybe a third more of that check than what they have now. And now it's just like, to my knowledge, she's not broke. She got, I think, a couple of million, or she's sitting on a few million. Now, what if your mother wasn't the way she was? Would you still have the millions? Would you still be worth the person you are today? Yeah, going through a little situation with your mother. We all go through things with our mothers. There's not a time that we don't go through things with our mothers and fathers that we all don't agree. When they want to go left and we go right, and they go right, we want to go left, until everybody decide that it's best that we just take the middle. Sometimes it does not work that way. It's actual factual that when you're dealing with a mother and a child, you're dealing with two different personalities. Hell, when you're dealing with a parent and a child, you're dealing with two personalities. One child wants, the other child needs. And I say child because you're both a child of God. So you have to break that down and understand it. The book is deep. The book is deep, but I think it fits a lot of inner city children who don't get the reality to write that book. To say, God.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like to add on to that, like not just her mother, but I'm pretty sure you all heard. Because iCarly, it's not a recent show. This show came out about a good 15, 20 years ago, right? And it's like, there's so much information about Nickelodeon and Dan Schneider in general that we get now that we didn't have back then.
That's right.
And like, there's probably a lot more things that probably happened behind the sets that we didn't know.
True.
And
Good point.
it's like cancel culture wasn't a thing back then like it is now. So it's like, you gotta realize she was probably going through stuff with, I'm not getting too much into details, but I'm pretty sure if you heard about Dan Schneider, he wasn't exactly the best person to have as a boss. And I'm pretty sure her mom knew certain things, and that's probably another factor that could probably play into why she feels the way she does about her mother. Because it was also not a safe environment I did there as well.
It was a hell of a time at that time, too.
It was. It's much different than it is now.
It was. It definitely wasn't the same as it is now. You're right about that. I'll definitely give you that. And there's a lot of them coming out. And the only person I haven't heard speak about anything that went on yet in Nickelodeon is Nick Cannon. He has yet to speak on a lot of things. But like I said, this young lady wrote a book, and I'm pretty sure she shocked Hollywood with that book. I'm pretty sure she did. Especially as being in a person, like you said, coming from iCarly. But you're right, Nickelodeon did have a lot going on at that time.
Like the reboot they had of it's iCarly something, I don't know. They had a reboot. She chose not to be in that as well. So I'm pretty sure, she made it clear. Like, she also said something about, correct me if I'm wrong, about she just doesn't like the memories around that certain.
She did
time.
say that. If you look at the full interview, if you go to ABC News and pop up Jennette McCurdy, you'll see the full interview. She does say that she was not happy. I think after the second year on the set, I think she was not happy. And I don't believe she landed the role that she really wanted to land. I don't think she wanted to be the BFF, or maybe she wanted to be the star. I don't know. You watched the show more than me. Did she have an inspiring role in iCarly?
I mean, I feel like she had the coolest character in my opinion. I don't know what you feel.
She was funny.
She was funny. Yeah, with the butter sock.
Yeah, and like her impersonation, as like you see her on the outside of the show, like who she really is, like, and to like the way she is on the shows, like you'll just say like she's a good person, and then when you sit there and watch the show, you'll be like, yo, Sam, like that's the go-to person. Like she's funny. She be saying there, cracking up all the jokes. Like she's like the center of everything.
Hell of an actor.
Yeah.
So you think that this is just something that might have been on her mind for a long time, and she just needed to get it off?
Yeah, I feel like. Sorry to cut you off.
That's all right. Yeah, go.
Everything that she's been saying, I feel like everything is built up from years. Like you said, a lot of things happened back then, and she couldn't have the chance back then to speak up the way she did now. So now she probably, she's doing iCarly as she is. Now she has the chance to actually speak up how she wants to. So that's why she probably also wrote the book, because she wasn't able to speak up for herself how she was back then.
Right. But why use a book?
Well,
like that might be more insulting than anything. Like I said, the persona of the cover itself.
Yeah. So here's a funny thing, because you said why use a book. It's like, in other words, why people use certain music to connect to certain other people. Because why happen there's other actors or other people who's not out there yet as she is, who's going through the same situation, and they can probably connect through her books. A lot of people don't just connect through music; they connect through books as well. That's why I learned, because I'm like that too. Certain rappers that I connect them in certain ways, other music. So some people connect to favorite people like that through their books.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure. She did seek help. I don't like to bring up that part because it's not about that part. So I don't even know why I mentioned it. But the fact that to take her time to write the book, I guess she had to, experience what was happening to her, and then when she realized what it was, she, it was the best way to express herself. But I hope everything turns out. And I'm gonna start watching a little bit of this iCarly. I never even heard of. I've heard of it, Nickelodeon, but never watched it. I always thought it was too crazy, Nickelodeon. But anyway, is there anything else on the table? Anybody want to give any shout-outs before we exit the dome? Or
I mean, I was on a live for a few, but my phone just died on me. So like, if you're watching this and you guys were on the live, my fault. My phone sold on me.
What's your live, man? Shout out your live.
Shout out to my live though.
Shout out to you. What's your live?
What's your Instagram name?
My Instagram ShotStacks23.
ShotStacks23. You want to shout out? No? You've been quiet tonight. You want to shout out?
I use social media.
Yeah. You don't. He don't.
I don't.
He don't. Yeah, I realize it.
TikTok.
Yeah,
I changed your TikToks. I'll be seeing it.
I said, brother, I don't use Instagram, Snapchat, and everything. I don't use that stuff.
So I just want to let you know, just to give you guys have been giving me the inspiration for the last month and a half. Seems like every video we touch has been gold. Seems like everything we have done and spoke about has been in the right perspective. And I just want to take the time to give you flowers while we're here, to let you know that I do appreciate everything you do. I hope we could do this forever. I hope when you guys decide to move away and start a family, that you always find time to sit with the old man and chat on a Sunday.
Of course.
I love it.
Of course.
So I appreciate y'all. And on that note, before we start crying on the air, y'all have a good night. Thank you for listening.
Good night, guys.
Make sure you check out our next episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure you send in that Cash App. Yeah, you'll find us. We'll be there. Have a good night.
All around swinging, I'm stacking my digits. Burning them bridges, can't be giving my digits out to any of these random ass bitches. No, I get caught in my feelings. Let me talk my shit, cause I just made it out the bitch I was digging. Tell them how you living. Got the plug on call, put the house on so. And I really did it all in a New York minute. No, this ain't a trust fall, but you acting like I wouldn't catch you slipping. But I'm on stage, stay pillin'. Fuck all their opinions. Mask on, now we back in the business. All these niggas want the bag, I want